Welcome to another Ramblings of Madman video. This time I'll talk a bit about Borderlands 4 and the drama surrounding its optimization issues and Randy's response. I'm not a tech guy and know very little about PC optimization, but I've been a consumer of video games for about 30 years, which means I've seen my share of everything. Also, I have no preference when it comes to gaming on PC or consoles. What mattered to me always are the games themselves and what they offer. So I'll share my unbiased and unfiltered opinion as usual, you Borderlands bastards. Played Borderlands 1 and 2 and really liked those games. There is something special about the Borderlands series. Characters in those two games are quite something and the writing is really good. Also, Handsome Jack is one of the better villains in gaming.
And this assassin thing.
The true world revealed.
I don't know what his deal is. Alright, that's actually kind of cool. You know, you idiots are so pathetic. Do you have any idea how much firepower you're gonna need to take me down? A lot. A whole goddamn lot. Okay, that's a lot of gun.
So what is the issue with the Borderlands 4? I haven't played it myself, but due to obvious optimization issues I have no interest in it at this point. Borderlands 4 uses Unreal Engine 5, which seems to be the cause of problems for many games these days. UE5 is just a tool that can be used in a few ways, to build something on it from ground up, or to fit into parts of the existing engine and system. In the end, it's on the developer to use it properly, same as optimizing it. For example, one of the things that is embedded into UE5 is the lumen ray tracing, which can affect the performance significantly. Unfortunately, there is no option to turn that off in Borderlands 4, which is something to be considered to be added as an option, but the problem is that LRT is part of lighting and volumetric fog. From my brief research, there is a way to enable the lumen ray tracing option in settings, and it is entirely on developers how they handle the shaders in order for such an option to be viable. Laziness is never an excuse, but we have become accustomed to broken products on release date and people defending it. Let's see some of the statements Gearbox and our dear Randy have come up with to defend Borderlands 4 optimization issues. Randy says that Borderlands 4 is a game for premium gamers, which means ones that have high-end rigs. I wouldn't have a problem with that if the title's name is Borderlands 1. Previous Borderlands were not premium games, so why is 4 special in that regard? Or maybe it's not special and instead it's special. Like badly optimized special. Why would dear Randy assume that former Borderlands players and fans have access to $3,000 to $5,000 or euros rigs all of a sudden? Isn't that dividing the fan base based on the hardware availability? To me that is anti-fan and anti-consumer practice. Also, I've read many posts about this topic to see what people with high-end rigs say, and there's plenty of posts signaling same issues that mid-end rigs have. Constant crashes and unsatisfying performance. Crashes don't discriminate what kind of rig you've got. Though to be fair, gamers and unsatisfying performance can mean many things. Some gamers are quite spoiled. I do agree with Randy on some things though. One of them is that I can't expect to play any graphically taxing game on 4K 120 frame rates max settings on my Ryzen 5900 CPU, 6800 XT GPU and 32GB of RAM. It's just not realistic. However, I expect stable 60 frames per second on 1440p for every game on max settings. That should be realistic. Games on PCs should offer a variety of options that could make the game perfectly enjoyable on all settings and for low to high-end rigs. Problem with PC games is that they are not just plug and play, and some gamers don't have enough knowledge to play with settings, but to be fair, most PC games offer setting check option to immediately apply the best setting for the available hardware. However, if the game is not optimized properly, best settings for the available hardware can still lead to bad results. From what I've read, console version performance mode does hit 60 frames per second, but at a vastly reduced graphics. Not a good look for the studio and their claims. Especially considering that our dear Randy said to code our own stuff to show them how it's done. Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a fantastic looking game and the game plays exceptionally well on many rig types. Maybe Randy should look at other developers instead of comparing heavily funded team to gamers. Not to mention that UE5 is not Gearbox's engine anyway. Sure, it could only be a part of it only that has been used to create Borderlands 4, but they still had to look elsewhere to help them out with their own systems in place and still failed to create a fairly optimized product. At least the game seems to be great from the feedback so far, which I'm glad to hear. But unoptimized products should never be an acceptable thing. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Patreon, subscribe, our merch in the description, and thanks for watching.